Hey everybody, Igor from the Better Life Academy here, and today I am coming to you with another piece of wisdom, as I call them, those golden nuggets of success secrets of all those most successful people in the world, which I have learned from, who were mentoring me, and from my own experience as well, from my own experiments. And I'm sharing with you, within the social media profiles of mine, just to add value to your life. And hopefully you are borrowing some of that the same way I borrowed it from my mentors, implement it in my life, and actually improve the quality of my life. So my goal is to help you to improve the quality of your life. And today I kind of want to switch up gears a little bit, and I want to talk about one of my mistakes which I've made in my life, and suggest you maybe skipping that and just get to the solution which works most probably the most efficient and better way. So at some point of my life, I was working in this company, and I was hiring people. I was actually building teams. And I had this imagination in my head of what and how company should perform and how the brand should look like and what kind of environment should be in the company. But that image, that vision in my head was not congruent with reality, what we had in the company. We didn't have that accomplished yet. We didn't build that yet, but I still kind of had it in my head. Why I'm saying that is just because during all the interviews, through all the HR process, whomever I was talking to, I was actually selling them on that picture in my head. I was not really honest with them, meaning I was not selling them the reality. I was not talking about what the things are and how the things are in our company, but I was selling them vision which will probably happen at some point of the company's development ladder. But the problem here is that the person actually expects to see all of that as soon as the person comes and joins the team. Because to have a vision and to strive to go there, it's one thing. To sell it to someone as something which is already the reality is completely another thing, right? As a result, I sold a lot of, of this kind of stuff to a lot of different people. And those people, they were joining my team, they were joining my company. And as a result of that, obviously, they saw the reality. They've met the reality in first day, as soon as they joined the team, joined the company. And the reality, obviously, was completely different from their expectations. Therefore, the expectation were not met. They would be angry, they would be anxious, they would be overwhelmed, they would be unsatisfied, and we would have the huge rotation in our company. We would not basically get people to stay long term with us. And I have not understood it back then. I did not understand why is that happening. We were looking for different other, flaws which we had in our company, but we never thought of what are we actually selling during the conversation and during the interviews with anyone who wanted to join our team. So I learned lesson hard, right? And that company was not that successful, and I didn't feel myself fulfilled in that company at all. And part of it was my own fault because I was that unexperienced guy before, right? I learned that though, and I started to be completely different in all my upcoming businesses and companies what I started to work in. So I started to do the opposite. During the interviews, during any conversations and interactions with anyone who was interested in me, in my team, in our company, and joining us, I would be completely honest. Sometimes I would actually add a little bit more of pessimism than it was in reality in my company. Truthfully so, like people who talk to me, they probably realize that and they probably can support me on that. I would sell what exactly we had in our company. I would talk about this passionately, but I would also talk about my vision because no one, kind of stopped me from talking about the vision, but I was talking a vision about the future. I was selling them the future, but I was honestly talking about the current conditions, the current environment, the current team, right? And I was completely honest. And you know what? I still got a lot of rejections from people, and that is okay, because obviously everything what I could provide them, everything what I could support them with was not enough, or their values rules and standards, their internal values, rules and standards, were not congruent with values, internal rules and standards of our team, of our company. And I was so honest about it, and I was able to actually communicate it through that person. That person was definitely understanding that they're not fit to that company, and they rejected the offer, or we did not make an offer at all for these people. And therefore, that time was well invested. That honesty helped both sides do not engage into the collaboration, into partnership, which was meant to collapse just because the two values, two sides of values, standards, and rules do not match. On the other hand, those people who loved the current situation we are in, the current environment, the current values and rules and standards of ours, which I was communicating through with complete honesty, they were joining us, and guess what? They're still working with us as a team members. And it's some of the guys I'm working for 7 to 8 years, some of them 10 to 12. Just imagine for how long a period of time we are able to work together. Why? It's just because we were completely honest in first place. We started our partnership being completely honest with each other, understanding each other from the half of word, as they say. And we sat and sold the things in the way they were, maybe even a little bit less than they were. And as soon as the person would join the team, for them there would be wow effect, because they were actually expecting a little bit less than we had. And that was an awesome start, and that gave them boost, gave them energy and hope and motivation to actually go and now build that vision, what also sold to them during those conversations. By the way, I don't like the word sold. I was not selling anything. I was just saying the truth. But just for this conversation wise, it's kind of the marketing message we all give each other. We kind of ethically sell to each other, one way or another. So I think that conversation literally would be selling and buying process, right, during the interview. So I might as well call it that way. So there we go, right? One mistake which I was making before did not help me, or was on my way of building really and truly long-term strong relationship within the team. And another way, basically honesty, and not being afraid to being judged because maybe we had some flaws in the company, but actually putting that all on the table and letting the person to actually understand what to expect, and then building something and creating for the person an environment they would get more than they expected, and giving them the vision, the long-term view of where we want to go and what we want to achieve. We would get on board the person who would just ready to do anything to help us to achieve that. And that's exactly what happened. And that's how I gained my success, gained my results, and the whole team gained the results and success what we have right now at the moment. So I learned that rule, through the, errors and trial kind of, period in my life. And obviously I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for those lessons, but I just want you to help you out and just skip that. Don't go through that. Don't waste your time there. Be honest with whomever you communicate. And by the way, those interviews and HR process is only the example. You can apply that in all the areas of your life. When you talk to your kids, when you talk to your parents, to your loved ones, family, spouse, partners, friends, just be honest. Even if that honesty you think might offend a little bit or maybe upset the opposite side, not a problem. Just be honest. The honesty wins every single day of a week. The honesty beats the dishonesty, beats the marketing kind of bubble which you trying to draw a lot around your company or your personality or someone else, and trying to sell something which in reality is completely different. Don't do that. Do the opposite. Be honest. Tell and say the things as they are, and you're going to be able to build teams, build companies, build relationships, build family, build friendships, build communities, build neighborhoods, build countries on the note of the honesty. And this is the very good foundation to actually build your relationships with anyone on. All right? Okay. Maybe it was too easy, maybe it was simple, but for some of you, I think it would be very useful to hear that. And on the example of mine, again, don't make those mistakes, skip them. use that as a lesson and do the opposite and do the good things, be honest. And I really hope you're gonna get the best relationships and the longest relationships with anyone whom you wanted to get them with. All right? Okay, it's enough out of me. Igor from the Better Life Academy.